Hello, I'm going to do a little more on Mike today. One thing I remember him telling me that when he was going the dog's end, that it'll come to an end. And I know when I was at his house, I never seen pictures of kids. So even though we were friends, I still felt it was always, I was the protege. Because for years I always, soaked up everything I could. And I just didn't feel comfortable asking him why they didn't have kids. I don't know if him and Lynn didn't want kids. I don't know if they couldn't have kids, but this is just something I didn't want to ask. So I remember him telling me once that blood ended, it was over. And I was curious about dog men, what they thought about other people's dogs. And he said that I asked him about other people's dogs, and he did say Casino's News he really liked. It was a 2-time winner. I didn't look up her pedigree, but I'm pretty sure it's the old, the Eli Red Boy stuff. And he said he was really impressed with her. He said he would have bred to Grand Champion BlackJack, Grand Champion Awesome Buck, but he wouldn't have bred to Rodriguez's Champion Gator. I'm sure I asked him why, but I can't remember what he said. And he said he talked to David Tant about breeding to Tant's Grand Champion Yellow, but it just never happened. He had a bunch of different bloodlines, Boudreaux throughout his life, Creed dogs, excuse me, Red Devil dogs, of course, what he's known for, Red Boy dogs, Boudreaux dogs, Patrick dogs, Carver dogs. And he said the champion blood, if he was young, that's what he would go with. And that was really impressive because only the first generation of that blood got tested, from Champion Haggler, Champion Gambler, Champion Duchess, and Champion Red Dog. And maybe a little bit of the second. I know Linda and Junkie Jane and Red Diablo. Red Diablo might have been tested by a farm out. I'm thinking he got him back. It was either Red Diablo or Scratch, a farm out tested a girl in Tennessee, and so he knew, what one of them had. But pretty much just the first generation of champion blood was tested, and a little bit of the second. I had all that blood except for the Champion Haggler. I was going to get a daughter of, I think he bred Devil Deacon, not the Red Boy, famous Devil Deacon, the Red Boy, Red Devil, Devil Deacon Mike bred. It was off Champion Gambler. I think he bred Devil Deacon to Elsie. Elsie was off of Champion Haggler. And I was going to get one of them, and I just had I wanted one so bad, but I had a full yard. I just couldn't take on another dog. But that's just really impressive that with that champion blood, that only seeing the first generation, second generation, a little bit of the second, that's what you would go with. So I thought that was maybe his crown achievement on breeding dogs. Of the Boudreaux blood, seems like everybody likes Eli Jr., Bully Son, Six Bits, Grand Champion Art. He liked the Bose blood. Boudreaux's Bose was a 1-time winner. And matter of fact, Mr. Boudreaux said that was one of his favorites, him and Blind Billy. Of all the Red Boy dogs, he liked, which people liked, I think there was a Champion Radar Man, Champion Britches, Hunter Red. As a producer, they said he wasn't a good pit dog, but he produced good. Bingo, of all those Red Boy dogs, his favorite was George's Triple Out Red, and I had heard another guy say that too. I'd asked him about would Snooty, would you have bred to him? And he said, no, I'm not interested in breeding to a dog that not just quit once, but quit twice. Snooty quit both times when he lost against Champion Rascal, and the other dog I think was called Burns Obnoxious Ox. And I get that to an extent, but Snooty produced so many dogs. I haven't looked at the ROM list in years. If he's not on there, then it's just unofficial. He's unofficial in ROM. He just produced, oh my gosh, a list of really good dogs, not just champions, winners, producers. And that's probably the only thing I differed with on Mike. He would say, I won't breed to a dog that's quit, but I'll breed to a dog that's untouched. And there's a right or wrong. You feed your dogs, you breed them how you want. And I hung on to everything he said. But like, for example, Snooty, he's a good producer. If he quit 10 times, he produced better than his self dogs that didn't quit, and a very high caliber dogs that line it that went on for years. An untouched dog means they've never been looked at, they've never been game tested. But that dog can not only quit that's untouched, it could also, and this is just for historical purposes. I'm talking years ago when all this went on, but you could breed to an untouched dog, and it can not only be a good producer either. Maybe it was just the shits as far as it didn't have ability, it didn't have mouth. I mean, just a hell of a dog. Now, if it could produce, okay, but I think I'd still rather have a dog that could produce but had some talents. Like if it quit, if it still had mouth and ability, if it's a good producer, it's going to throw that. So that was the only thing that I differed in opinion from with Mike. He did breed his Suzy Q. There's like 3 Suzy Qs in this blood. There's the Bentley Suzy Q, the 2-time winner that his Red Devil dogs came through. And there's his Suzy Q, his 2-time winner off Samson and B. They were both 2-time winners. And then he's got a Suzy Q that was off of Champion Red Dog and Champion Duchess. But I'm talking about the middle Suzy Q dog that was a 2-time winner off Samson and B. And he bred her to Anderson's Champion Tonka. And he said the whole litter was curs. None of them turned out. So that was just one of those things that was rare, I guess, because he told me about the Red Devil dogs that they'll click with any other blood. You breed them to another bloodline, and it usually works. For some reason, that one didn't. He also said that Red Devil dogs is some of the hardest biting dogs. You could maybe find other dogs that bite as hard, but not harder. And that was something that probably you didn't hear about a lot if you go back and read in books, because bulldogs are the same as everything else. There's a flavor of the month. You know, this dog's popular for a long time. Red Devil dogs hadn't been popular for years, so obviously you're not going to see many of them in the pit as you did in the days when Jeep was popular, or Corvino dogs were popular, or whatever. So you just didn't get to see that many or hear about that many. So, you know, a lot of people probably don't know that. But yeah, Mike said that, you know, all the dogs he had and everything, none bit harder than Red Devil. Some might have bit as hard, but, you know, not harder. So there's a little bit more on the Mike with the Red Devil dogs, and some of the things that he liked with the Boudreaux blood and the Red Boy blood and things like that. That picture is of him and Frasures John. It was a 2-time winner. And I should have looked that up, but I think that might be Taffy's brother. or half brother, something like that. But I think it was a lady that owned him. I think there was a Vera Fraser. I'm just going off memory. I don't know for sure, because a lot of people were shocked back then that that there was women in the dogs, and there was, if it wasn't Vera Fraser, then I'm thinking of another Vera. I knew a woman that was in the dogs that tested them and all that good stuff, and of course Katie Marlowe with the Red Boy blood. So not surprising to me, wasn't the first, and probably won't be the last. But there's a little bit of history, and I hope everybody has a good day.